Ladies and gentlemen,
Welcome back to episode 43 of Off the Field Podcast.
what is up, guys?
It's going to be a big one, and I'm going to start it off by saying make sure you're subscribed here to Off the Field and to my personal channel, Austin Kleshka, because there's a lot of bangers going up this week on that channel.
Tell him.
And I was in New York. I was at the Gold Glove Awards. I went to this BBG event. Lots of things to talk about in this episode. But Mobo finally has something to talk about that's not his car.
Ladies and gentlemen,
What is that?
Bear with me. The car content is going to come. But I just went to Camp Flog Gnaw. I got back.
Which is?
Camp Flog Gnaw is Tyler, the Creator's music festival.
Yes.
And basically, it's a big old carnival on the parking lot of Dodger Stadium, wrapping half the stadium.
Yes.
We were behind left field, and it was beautiful. It was massive. Tons of people showed up. I mean, it was sold out, which was a given, but I didn't realize how big it was until I was stuck inside of the mosh pit.
Yeah.
The ever-growing mosh pit.
Who went with you?
Nobody.
Now, who said they were going to go with you?
I had little Kirsch with me. I had, for some reason, Javi's name gets thrown out. It was Gabe. Gabe was going to go with me, and a couple more friends, not softball related, but everybody backed out. Nobody could get tickets.
And that's the lesson I told you guys last episode of if you want to do it and it's by yourself, just do it. There you go. So how was it?
Dude, it was, excuse my French, it was bitchin'.
Who performed?
Oh my God, let me tell you
Or
guys.
who did you see perform?
Well, okay, I'll give you the list of who I saw. So on Saturday, I saw Balming Tiger, which is like a Korean pop band. They were popping up. They were super cool.
So is this K-pop?
It was like, it was a weird, I didn't expect it to be K-pop, but it was pretty cool. Very big, like NSYNC kind of vibe. Give him like a nice 6 out of,
Interesting.
give him like a nice little 7 out of 10. Then I stayed actually because I saw a little bit of Tizo Touchdown, up and coming artist, really cool.
Yeah, I haven't heard of him.
Yeah, he's been on a couple tracks with a couple big names. Next band was Turnstile, amazing punk band. I've seen them plenty of times. They're really cool.
Oh, I think I've heard you talk about them before.
Me and Andy love them.
Okay.
Love them. After that, I saw Kevin Abstract, which is one of the, I guess, members of the boy band Brockhampton. I don't know if you know him.
I know the name.
I got to put you on. You'll love him. But after that, I saw like the tiniest bit of Caliucci's. I know you know
Okay, a
Caliucci.
name I know.
Yeah, there you go. I saw a tiny bit of her, but I didn't because I left early to go see Ice Spice. And let me tell you guys, everybody was simping that night because holy
obviously.
balls, bro. It was wild. People were losing their shit horribly to her just walking out on stage.
They're down bad for her.
Oh, it was down horrendous, but she did pretty good. I only saw like a couple songs. I left right when she was performing The Boy's a Liar.
So you left during her biggest hit of the year?
Legit, I left because I underestimated how many people were going to watch Tyler, the Creator this year. And bro, let me tell you.
What is his festival?
Well, yeah, but dude, I fought so hard to get to near the front from the VIP. Like I had VIP, which was plus because that's how I was able to just jump around and see different artists.
Yeah.
Dude, it was like the amount of people for the general admission was ridiculous. And then the VIP, everybody was just crazy. Everybody was off something, but I don't think it was because of Tyler, the Creator. I think it was because of Kendrick Lamar and Baby Keem.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they were the ones to close it out. And get this, the whole time, Amazon Music is live stream media event. Beautiful. Even, you know how they always project the artist on the side on panels or whatever?
Yeah.
Dude, it looked like a straight up music video. Like everybody performing had their own filter, had their own kind of like very minimal visual effects, but it was really nice. It was cool.
And
it
wasn't like, because you've been before. That's something that wasn't there before.
No. So it was my first time going to Camp Flog Gnaw. But as far as like the actual
Cap went.
I
always get that confused.
But like it was at least different, and the first time I've seen something like that, because a lot of these festivals that I've been to have straight up just been like, here's the recording, and there's nothing really like popping about the visual because they want you to focus on the entertainer. At this point, it's like, bro, everything is wild. Like it was cool. It was sick. But to close out Saturday, fought my way to the front, and I stuck to the front, and dude, I like teared up a bit because I saw Kendrick.
They sing Family Ties.
Oh yeah, dude. They opened up with Family Ties.
Yeah.
It was I'll send you a video. It was the biggest pop I'd ever seen in my life. But they went through all the hits. I mean, he played ADHD. He played
They played
Backseat Freestyle.
Okay,
He played All Right. He played all of his hits, and then Baby Keem went
Swimming
to all
pools?
his hits. Dude,
Yeah.
yeah, it was sick, dude. It was, oh my, and then the biggest thing was, I mean, you get it because it's part of our generation and a lot of the viewers. I mean, dude, it's the music we grew up listening to. Like,
Yeah,
it's the same music in GTA, and like, go off.
Kendrick, yes.
Baby Keem though, I mean, hey, he's putting his name out there. He's doing pretty.
I'm
pretty
just talking
good.
about like half the festival.
Well, okay.
But yeah, Kendrick I'll agree with.
But dude, beautiful set, awesome. At the end of the night, Tyler the Creator came out and like shook hands with them and all of this stuff. Sunday, I saw a couple more people. I saw Daisy World, AG Club, Willow. She did perform.
Willow Smith?
Yeah, Willow Smith, and she brought out Jaden.
Oh, okay.
I didn't see them like fully perform, but I saw the hits. that she played.
Nobody slapped each other?
Nobody slapped each other.
Okay.
Everybody
good.
was peaceful.
Okay, good.
And Willow was very artsy. I don't know.
Yeah, I noticed that about her.
I will say this though. Willow is very interesting because I feel like her music now, bro, she's trying to become like a new pop punk queen. A lot of her
It gives
stuff
me
is like,
female MGK.
it's like, well, yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, it's kind of like she's trying to be Paramore without Paramore.
But do I have Transparent Soul and what's the other song I like by her? Wait a Minute on my phone? Yes, I do.
I have Meet Me at Her Spot.
And that one,
That was fire. But after Willow, I saw Pink Panthers. And
Okay.
Pink Panthers was really cool. Little Yachty.
Ooh. Okay.
Phenomenal, bro.
Good.
Like,
I like to hear that.
dude, I got at least punched a couple times in the stomach. It was that mosh pit hurt, brother. Let me tell you, I was fighting for my life. But after
Did he bring it to Poland?
yeah.
Did he?
He played Poland and he brought out Quavo.
Oh, nice.
So
Nice.
they performed Bad and Bougie, and everybody went ballistic, brother. But I saw Rex Orange County. Did you ever listen? to
Hasn't
Rex
he been
Orange County?
canceled like 4 times?
Bro, don't matter. He played that one song. Okay.
I don't know. I never listened to him on post cancellation. I'm like,
Nope.
not a good time to start listening to him.
But yeah, I mean, he played his hits. It was beautiful, and then SZA closed it out. Did not know SZA wrote Kill Bill.
Yeah, I don't know how he didn't know that.
She did place All the Stars.
Oh,
Staring
from the
at
Black
the-
Panther movie?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a good one.
she played that. She played
Did
Kiss Me
Kendrick do
More.
it with her? Because Kendrick's on that song. Come on.
Yeah, dude, I don't get why artists don't just perform their hits with if and when the artist is there.
Like, if Kendrick was there
don't
doing
get
a
it.
whole set and SZA's going to do All the Stars, you're there, bro.
I don't know, man. But overall experience, beautiful. It was cool,
Mhm.
eye-opening. I actually met some nice people the day one.
Yeah.
Also, side note, I skipped that on day one. I waited an hour and 45 for water
Jesus.
because let me tell you guys, the water was not just, it wasn't pouring out. It was legit dribbling like this. So it took forever. And then on top of that, the cherry on top, Austin, as I put the cup in the dispenser, bro, it ran out completely. Waited a solid 5 minutes contemplating my life and like what to do. And then out of nowhere, I tried again in front of everybody. And bro, let me tell you, that shit rained out. It was beautiful. Like a straight waterfall in an oasis. And I got water. And as soon as I was done filling up like my 64, dude, it ran out again. So I took all the water.
And ran.
Yeah. What else? The merch was very overpriced.
As always.
Some of it was, I'll put it to you like this: a long sleeve tee by Kendrick Lamar and his cousin Baby Keem.
Yep.
Dude, $180.
That's more expensive than the jacket I'm wearing right now.
On top of that, it was at the point that I got in line, it was only that, like one, and then plus they run out of big boy sizes as always because
Yep.
people like to take our clothes.
It's tough in the big boy world.
Bro, they were selling a jersey that was 450 beans. 450 beans because it was
That is
numbered.
3 of these jackets.
But overall experience, really cool. I highly suggest anybody and everybody to do it. Whether it's Rolling Loud, Outlands, Stagecoach, any kind of music, anything you want. If you listen to it, you want to go party, you want to have fun,
Yep.
do that shit.
All right. Out of 10 overall experience.
Out of 10, I'll give this one a solid 8.2.
Solid.
Performances, I'll give it like a for sure 9.5, 10 out of 10. Food, dude, food was overpriced. I paid $30 for burrito.
Of course. Makes sense.
Food, I'll give it like a 6 out of 10. No, I'll give it a 4.5 out of 10. And parking was a solid 8.
Nice.
Nice.
And I bet you didn't know. I've never been to a music festival ever.
I gotta take you.
I've been to concerts, not a festival though.
We need to go.
Yeah, but there's none that ever like pique my interest enough.
Well, you gotta like explore more. Listen to more music.
I don't got time.
Can't just listen to 16 by Baby Keem on repeat.
I'm running 2 YouTube channels.
But
I let Mobo go first because I'm not gonna shut up now.
No, I'm just gonna say yeah and wow.
I had a very long, exciting week in New York.
Dude, tell me all about it. I'm surprised nobody came.
What do you mean?
From New York, like to do the podcast.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I didn't think about it. It's just like
this is our episode.
If I look down at my phone a lot, that's because I'm going through my gallery, trying to like so I know if I miss anything or not.
Off the pictures.
All right, so we flew out of L.A.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty simple. We landed. We decided it was easier for us to go to the children's, even though they're not children anymore. But I'm always going to call them the children. Gabe,
Forever
Javi,
children.
and Kirsch. Their hotel, which was in Times Square. I was staying in an Airbnb in Newark. And we dropped our bags off their hotel. We immediately had to, because Kershey's never been. So what's the staple food in New York?
Yeah.
Pizza. And what's the staple place? Joe's. So we took him to Joe's because there's a million in New York. And, having it again, I think I was just on the excitement of having Joe's the first time when I was there.
It's garbage, huh?
It's not garbage, but it's not as hyped up as everyone makes it. Like, because I'll just fast forward to the end of the trip for this part. I had a place called Ray's at the end of the trip. So much better
Crazy.
than Joe's.
Yeah.
It's like more flavor, more taste. I liked it way more. Now, back to the beginning of the trip. We get his pizza, and then we meet up with the rest of our group that's traveling with us, which was Cap, Jeff, Jasmine, and yeah, just them. And we went to go do a tour of Madison Square Garden, the mecca of basketball, home of the New York Knicks. And it was pretty cool. It was solid. We got to see the whole upper part. We got to see the locker room of the Knicks and the Rangers. We did not get to see the hardwood because they were preparing for a Pink concert. So I was a little bummed out about that. But we did get to go down like on the floor.
Oh, wow.
So that was pretty cool. And I got yelled at by not homeless guy, but a crazy New Yorker while we were over there.
What'd you do?
There was these wide stairs, totally big enough for 2 people to walk down, and he was walking down, and he was injured. And, I was trying to just go to the open side that he was not covering. And then we're like 2 steps from the next floor. And he's like, "You want to get off my ass?" And I'm like, all right, I'm just going to keep walking because, 1, I'm not afraid of you because you're injured. 2, I'm going to let you look like the idiot yelling at nobody. And 3, I'm just going to keep walking and move on with my day.
You should have just been like in New York mode and just yelled back. Just provoke something.
I kept walking. And he goes, "Fucking punk." And I'm like, all right, buddy. I'm like, I honestly couldn't care. And then Jeff and all them were like, "Bro, easiest fight you could have ever won." I'm like,
you literally could have just probably like boop.
No, they were
just flicked them down.
I forget who said it, and he was walking with the cane. He was injured.
Oh, dude, easy swipe.
That's literally what the kids said. They're like, "Dude, just swipe it and he's down."
Bro's gonna be like, "I knocked him. I
was like, "Nah, I'll be the bigger man. I'll make him look like an idiot for yelling at nothing." And then we left there and we went to the Edge in observation skyscraper.
Saw the pics, bro. It looked beautiful.
I highly recommend. My opinions from this trip after doing 3 observation decks now in New York. If you want a nighttime view, go to Top of the Rock. If you want a daytime view, go to the Edge. So luckily, before knowing that, I did that perfectly. And then we had all done Empire State Building the first trip. So we were like, let's try a new one. And the ones that I know are Empire State Building, Top of the Rock, the Edge, and Summit 1 Vanderbilt. Mm-hmm. And so we chose the Edge. Sick. Has like an Avengers Tower kind of feel. Has a glass floor. Has a great view of all of New York, the river. And I loved it. Javi, however, was tired, freezing, and wanted nothing to do with me. And that was pretty cool. Had amazing views. Like I said, you can see everything I'm talking about in the videos on my channel. I'm posting all of it. So
make sure you guys
if you want the visuals of all of this, check out the vlogs on Austin Klushka. So we finish up at the Edge, and cool little entrance. Let's see. Like I said, I'm going to be looking at my phone a lot to make sure I'm not missing anything.
At the top, did they have any kind of like restaurant or any like bars?
They might have, but we didn't go to it. Then I think we just kind of chilled for the rest of that night and got a cannoli, obviously. You know me.
What flavor?
That's where I got a picture of them right here.
Is that an Oreo cannoli?
No, chocolate dipped.
Dude, my mouth watered.
And that's where I fell in love with cannolis because that's where they do them right.
Everywhere else we've been, he's judged them horribly.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
been like, this is never going to touch
It doesn't
New
hit
York.
the same.
It doesn't, though.
So then we come back. We wake up the next morning, and we go to Cat's Deli because the softball crew has never shut up about Cat's Deli since we went, and Mobo and the other Angel fans and I missed out on Cat's Deli. So every time they're like, you guys didn't go? And we're like, no, we didn't. We went to explore New York. And, so I went there. Pretty good. Very packed.
Hmm?
Yeah, like super packed.
How long was the wait?
Luckily, not that bad. I think there were 3 because there's 8 different cutters, and so you just pick one of the 8 lines. We chose the one that had like 2 people in front of us. But then when we left, the line was going out the door.
So, is it like a super, super small, like...
No, it's not,
like
it's not
taqueria
small.
spot, but...
No, it's not small. It's just a lot of people. It's a
Yeah.
popular place.
Damn.
And it was pretty good. I would definitely love to have it again. I had the Reuben, which I enjoyed. And then after that, we were like, okay, we're going to go to Cat's, and then we're going to go to the Brooklyn Bridge because they're pretty close. And then when we found like one of the most New York things ever, a pop-up flea market in a New York alleyway.
Gotta love it. Oh, my dude, that's so... I remember, I think it was Gabe. Gabe or Ryan might have, Little Kirsch for the fans.
Yeah.
They might have posted that. Dude, that looks sick.
Yeah, Gabe was trashing on it. He said they had nothing fire. And
Okay.
that's just him being a kid.
Okay.
They had a lot of cool things. Chartreuse got a jacket from there. She got a Steelers jacket.
Sweet.
And she was the only one that got something. And then we went to the Brooklyn Bridge. We wanted to do that because none of us got to walk the bridge last time. Javi did not join us because Javi wanted to operate on a different clock than everybody the entire trip.
Told me he slept throughout the days.
No, we woke up at like 11 to start our day. He woke up at like 6 to start his day.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
As
but
you should.
But then he would be like, "Oh, can you wait for like after he would go do everything? He would be out for like 5 hours doing everything by himself." And then when we were like, "Okay, we're gonna go do this," he's like, "Oh, but my phone needs to charge. Can I rest at the hotel for a little bit?" And we're like, "No, we're all ready to go. Like,
we're leaving you.
You've been out for 5 hours." Like,
oh my god.
so we did all that stuff on the second day without him. And so we walked Brooklyn Bridge. It's one of the coolest bridges there, I would say. And then we got tons of pictures on there. Gabe was hating on it. The people that I think really enjoyed it was me, Lil Kirsch, and Chartreuse. And then Jeff was just kind of like, eh. And then same with Cap. And then Gabe was just like, it's a stupid bridge. I'm like, dude, you didn't have to go. And then walked the entire bridge, took a subway back, and then where did we go after that?
How long was the walk?
I mean, you're stopping all the time to look at the views. But if you just walked it straight through, probably like 20, 25 minutes.
A bridge that's 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Brother, I could never.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
I
probably
2 days later, I got 30,000 steps. That wasn't even this day.
I think the most I pegged was, 35 or like 31.
Yeah. Oh, and then we went to the MLB flagship store right after the Brooklyn Bridge.
Beautiful.
Which we communicated with Javi, and then he was ready to go, and his phone was charged by that time. So he met us there. That's where I got this jacket.
Beautiful.
I honestly said I wasn't going to get anything team related. I honestly just wanted something MLB NYC related, like the logo.
Yeah.
And then I saw this jacket. I was like, everybody's like, you have to get it. Jeff's like, I'd be an Angels fan if I was wearing that. And so, yeah, very cool store. Definitely the coolest MLB store I've ever seen. It's got 2 stories. You walk in, and then it's just like there's fitteds all the way in the back right. There's like City Connect Heaven in the back left. Everything else in the front is kind of MLB NYC stuff. Yeah. Then there's a downstairs where they had a throwback wall of like Marlins throwbacks, every like dope throwback you can think of. And then minor league stuff down there. Like we saw Flying Chonkless hats. We saw the Sugarland Space Cowboys hat, the Pointy Boots hat.
Gotta love those
all
names.
the fun minor league stuff you can think of. And yeah, very cool store. And like I said, remember how Javi met us there? He was there for like 5 or 10 minutes. Him and Kappa left. And then when I got back, I'm like, dude, you were hyping it up and you stayed for such a short amount of time. Why? They didn't have anything cool. And I'm like, all right.
Bro, Javi was on his own server.
Like I hate when people
What?
don't like something like we do on a trip and then they just become haters, bro. Like they just want to talk so much shit on it. And I'm like, they had tons of cool things.
You had your chance.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, and it sounds massive to have obviously
It
a
was
little bit
massive.
of everything. Like, bro,
They
how do you
did.
not find something?
Exactly. He didn't
Hi,
even look that
Javi.
hard. He was there for like 5 to 10 minutes and he left.
Shame on you,
Cap,
Javi.
I could understand because he did all the stuff with us earlier. But yeah, I don't know. Went back to the hotel, and Jasmine also wasn't there for any of this stuff that I just mentioned on this day because Jasmine was sick on this trip.
Ugh.
So she did the MSG tour. She
Stay
did the
home.
Edge. Then the second day, she woke up and she said she felt even worse. So she said she was going to stay in all day. She felt better as the day went on, so she met us up at our hotel. And we'd been out all day, and so I was like, I just need like an hour and a half to refresh. Let the feet heal a little bit. Let me get some energy back. And this is her first time meeting up with us that day. Chartreuse has unlimited energy also. So they're like, who wants to go to a rooftop restaurant bar? And I'm like, give me like an hour and I'll go with you. And they're like, nah, we're going to go now. And I'm like,
I guess.
and so they leave, and then me, Kirsch, and Javi are like, let's go see the friend's apartment, the one they show the outside shot of all the time.
Yeah.
And the timing also was pretty sad because Matthew Perry passed away about 2 weeks ago as we filmed this. So they have a memorial there for him right outside the apartment. We bought flowers and wrote notes and left them there. Hopefully they're still there. And yeah, it was cool to see. But when we got there, Javi's been there before, okay? That's an important note. We get there. Javi and Kirsch just start firing away at this one building. And I'm looking at it, and I don't feel like a connection. I'm like, something's not right. So then we go across that building they're taking a picture of. The memorial's on the corner.
Yeah.
So we're right there taking pictures of the memorial. And then I see other people around me taking pictures of the building diagonally across from the memorial. And I'm looking, and I'm like, hey, Javi, are you sure it's not that building? And he looks at it. He's like, oh, it is that one. So they had to delete everything they just took pictures of because it was some stupid building that had no meaning.
We're talking like a gazillion.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
And immediately when I saw that one, I was like, that's the building, not this one. And then, they deleted all of their stuff, took new pictures.
Dude, that's so embarrassing.
Yeah.
Shit.
And then we went back, and Cap and Gabe were at the hotel the whole time, by the way. They didn't go out the rest of the night. And Cap had the key to our Airbnb. He was staying with me, Chartreuse, and Jasmine.
Mm-hmm.
And they, remember how I told you, they went out to like a restaurant bar. They also went out to Broadway that night. They saw Wicked. And they told Cap, they're like, hey, we're probably going to be out later than you, so you hold on to the key. And then he told me that when I got back. And I'm like, all right, if they're out later than us, whatever. But like, what do you mean, huh? You don't think we can be out later than you? And then
Don't tell me this turned into like a comp.
no, it wasn't a competition. But that's just what they said. Or no, he was like, they were trying to figure out who would get back to their Airbnb first. And one of them texted him, just said, we'll most likely be out later than you. And then so when our night ended and we were going from the hotel back to our Airbnb, I was just like, huh, okay, whatever. And then they call us and they're like, where are you guys? And we're like, oh, we're on our way back. Why? Oh, we're at the place. And then so I was like, oh, what happened to being out later than us? And they're like, well, how far are you? And we're like, 20 minutes. And they're like, 20 minutes? And I'm like, oh, but you were going to be out later.
Oh, you're going to be out late? No.
Yeah, no. And so luckily, the Airbnb host lived right next door, so they let him in.
Yeah.
And then he got back, and then the next day, I believe, was finally the day of the Jets game. Yes, it was. Okay.
You saw quite a game, didn't you?
And the game sucked.
Wait, what?
But the environment was awesome.
wait. Was it?
Hold on. We got a whole half day before we get to the Jets game.
Oh. My
So
apologies.
we found out there's this huge mall called American Dream right across the street from MetLife where the Jets play.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're like, let's spend our day there and then go over there. And there's two theme parks inside this mall.
What?
DreamWorks Water Park
Oh.
and Nickelodeon Universe.
Oh, those were the pictures.
Yes.
Dude.
So obviously I'm not getting wet in a time of the year where it's 45 degrees average.
Not a smart idea.
So we were like, no water park, but let's go do Nickelodeon Universe, which was empty. I've heard this mall is catching bad luck. I've heard it's going bankrupt,
No.
which is just sad. It's also the mall where the only physical Beast Burger location is. Mr.
You
Beast.
got to sit inside of a Beast Burger?
Yeah.
Wow.
And we had it like there at a restaurant, and it was pretty good. I've had it 3 times now, and so we did that first because I was starving. Then we went to Nickelodeon Universe, and it's huge. And so we buy wristbands to ride the rides, and there's this like 10-story structure, okay? And I'm looking at it, and I think it's a ride in progress. No. Do you remember Legend of the Hidden Temple, the game show?
Legend of the Hidden Temple.
It was the old game show on Nickelodeon. Like,
Was it all Egyptian themed?
yeah, kind of.
Like I maybe glimpsed in pieces.
So it was like obstacle game show kind of stuff.
Okay.
And that's what it was. It went from floor to ceiling, and you were harnessed in, and you would do these challenges.
So it's like a mix of just climbing the pyramid and Wipeout?
Well, no, there's stairs to go up to each level,
Okay.
but each level has like different stepping things where it's either nothing to hold on to and you got to step your way across, but you are harnessed in, or you like rope your way to the other side. And then at the very top, there's the Buddha, and you touch its head and it goes, "You've won." And yeah. But it was literally like 10 stories tall. It was huge.
Damn.
I'm like, where and how did you get the safety regulations to build this? And we did that first. And then after that, we rode the Shredder, indoor roller coaster.
Gotta love it.
And what else? Oh, before all that, Cap didn't want to go on any of the rides, but he really wanted to meet Patrick because he just bought IDs of SpongeBob characters.
And ladies and gentlemen, he does use them in public.
Yeah, all the time. He showed him his Patrick ID, his driver's license, his fishing license, and his Glove World pass.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And so that was the first thing. Then the temple, then the Shredder, and then we went on Aang's like air glider ride, and it just like goes upside down like this, like in a circle, and that was pretty sick. And then Cap was our cameraman, graciously for all those rides, but then they had to go because they were going to the Knicks game, so they left, and it was just me and Gabe waiting for the Jets game. And also Kershey and Javi did not go to any of this because they were too lazy and wanted to wait just for the Jets game.
Are you serious?
Yes.
No, man.
And so Gabe and I rode this like Fairly Odd Parents ride. They just went woo, woo, woo. That was pretty cool. And 6 rides were shut down. So I think that was the last thing we did. And then we walked over to MetLife. Went in. Very cool. Huge stadium. And our seats were right behind the end zone where both touchdowns were. There were 2 touchdowns. Both were in that end zone. So I feel sorry for the guys that were at the other end zone.
Damn, you lucked out.
Yeah, we did. And personally, I loved our seats because they were a few rows back on field level. Yeah. So there was a little raised. I prefer that being front row to where you're more flat with everything and it's harder to see. So that was cool. Javi was having the time of his life. He was actually told to stop saying one thing because anytime the Jets chant is, I thought I had the stickers right here.
Isn't it jet?
It's Jets, 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 Jets. So every time the Jets did something bad, Javi would yell that. And then halftime comes and the guy sitting next to us goes, "Love the energy. No more Jet chants. No more." And So he shut up for the rest of the, he didn't say that for the rest of the game.
And the Jets, didn't they get blown out?
Yes, so
Dude, that was immediate karma for the guy.
It was bad from start to finish.
Dude, that much of a
The Jets suck. Zach Wilson can't throw more than like 5-yard completions. And so the final score was 27-6.
Ooh.
Yeah. And no touchdowns by the Jets, only field goals.
Bodied.
And energy was dope, though. The pregame, the energy just by the fans. That's the cool thing about football games. Even when your team sucks, your games will still sell out. So, and it was me, Gabe, Kershey, and Javi at the Jets game, and the other 4 went to the Knicks game. And I told them from the start, I'm like, I don't care. Football games are more entertaining, in my opinion, than basketball.
Even in the live setting?
Yes, that's what I'm referring to.
Okay.
I don't believe at all that a basketball game can be more entertaining than football. And with the game we went to, even though it wasn't the most exciting game, it still felt exciting, and I doubt the Knicks game was anywhere close to excitement. I just don't buy it at all.
How was the Knicks game? Well, I mean,
no, I have no idea.
Yeah.
And then, so that was the Jets game. That was a lot of fun. Nickelodeon Universe was dope. And then the next day was the last day for everybody except for me, because 2 weeks prior, Tony Todd asked me if I wanted to go to the Gold Glove Awards. So then I said yes to that. He was coming in 2 days after everybody else was leaving, so I had 2 days by myself, and then Tony Todd came for the Gold Glove Awards. Those 2 days, the kids were flying at 6:30 p.m., and so we're like, we can do one thing before you guys fly, probably. So we rode bikes around Central Park, rode basically the whole thing. It was awesome. And I fell. I ate shit in Central Park.
What happened?
I was going down one hill, and
were you just bombing the hell out of it?
No, I wasn't. I was like tapping the brake, because if you slam the brake, you'll fly over the handlebars. So I was just like, slowing my speed. And then these were like fixie tires, so they were skinny. So at
hit a pebble.
No, at one point in that tapping, the front wheel just went from straight to sideways, and so then I ate shit. That's what this scar is on my hand and on that hand right there.
Real battle scars right there, people.
Pretty healed up by now, but I was bleeding out my hands, and then this is how I know this next generation could be doomed. What do you do when you get a cut?
You just wash it off and disinfect it.
Thank you.
Something simple.
Thank you. Okay, very simple, right? So I ride around for a little bit, and it starts to bleed more to where this part of my hand is all red. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, all right, I gotta buy something and get this off and clean it up. So then there's carts everywhere in New York for anything. So I buy water, I wash it off, and I'm like, okay, I should probably disinfect it because it's an open wound. And so I asked the guy, hey, do you have any hand sanitizer? And he's like, no, but I have sanitizing wipes.
Oh.
And so I'm like, okay, I'll take that. So Kershey's like, bro, that's going to hurt. And I'm like, yeah. That means it's working.
What?
He's like, dude, that's going to sting a lot. I wouldn't. And I'm like, and you would lose your hand.
What would outlive Ryan in medieval times? I don't think Ryan even make it out, bro.
No.
Bro would be 4 years old and get eaten by a dragon.
You hear people all the time from that time period where they get a little cut, they think nothing of it, and then they dead.
Die.
Yeah.
They get their leg blown off in battle. Oh, you'll be fine. It'll regenerate, and then just...
Yeah. So that was the first thing I did. Cleaned it up. Then we saw the baseball fields that are in Central Park, and they were all closed and roped off, and so that sucked. We saw the giant lake. We saw where the snowball fight from Elf took place in Central Park.
Dope.
We could see across the giant lake the outside shot they used for Jesse, the TV show, of their building. And
did you see by any chance where the pigeon lady was in Home Alone 2?
No, I didn't think of that.
Come on.
I wouldn't be surprised if we rode past it though.
Oh yeah. It really is how long do you think it is? Is it
I don't know, but it's huge.
Nothing compared to Miles Square.
No. And then they what do you call it? We wrap up our day there. We return the bikes, and then they flew home. And Ocean View was on their flight home, coming home from Europe.
What, bro?
By this point, I had taken a nap.
Yeah.
Gotten to my new hotel for my days by myself, and Ocean View's calling me when I wake up. Hey, what are you doing? I'm in New York. Why? Are Kershey and Javi with you and Gabe? And I'm like, oh no, they're about to fly home. Why? I think I see little Kersh. Is Gabe with them? I'm like, yeah, he should be. Yeah, I see him. They fly out at 6:30. I'm like, yeah, because I was supposed to be on that flight.
Oh yeah.
And then he's like, I'm on the same flight as them. And I'm like, he's like, I'm gonna go say hi to them. I was like, what are the odds? He's been gone for 2 months.
Just out in the open too.
And he just bought his one way back from that big Europe trip like 2 weeks ago.
Small world. Small world.
Yeah. So I was like, damn, I was supposed to be there. And I was like, if you want my seat, it's going to be open. So,
oh, you didn't cancel the seat?
Nah. Because Javi was on my ticket as well.
Oh.
So.
Oh, yeah. That would
and plus, they got the fees with. They wouldn't give me my money back. It was too late.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I got you.
And so yeah, then I'm at my place, and I knocked out hard, and I wanted to kill the cleaning lady.
Why?
So first day, I fell asleep in all my stuff, my hoodie, my shirt, my pants. I was dead.
Okay.
So I wake up and there was like a big metal door for the hotel. So it's like ding ding ding, and I'm like, oh. And I'm like, oh shit, I fell asleep in my stuff, processing that as I'm trying to answer the door. And then I open it, and she could tell I'm like, just woke up. She's like, oh, I'll come back later. So I'm like, yeah, whatever. Close the door. I get ready, and I'm like, okay, I kind of want a Starbucks. So I go out, and as I open the door, she's still cleaning rooms, like probably like 5 rooms down. And I didn't want anybody going in there because I was going to be there for such a short amount of time that my room doesn't need to be touched.
Yeah.
And so I open it. She was like, you want anything? A towel, coffee? And I'm like, no, I'm fine. And I have the do not disturb thing in my hand, and I put it on the door. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm all right. Go to Starbucks, which I discovered gingerbread chai latte. Oh my God, that smacks.
New addiction?
I found out on that trip because they had samples when Kershey and Gabe got Starbucks.
They hand out samples out there?
I know, right? And
dude.
So grabbed one, threw it down. I'm like, whoa. And then the next day I got one. And then came back. My do not disturb thing was gone off my door. And I was like, okay. Opened the room. Didn't look like it was touched. And then I pretty much just like because, I have multiple sclerosis, so energy goes up and down for me. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to regain a lot of energy today. I'm still going to go out, but like, I think I stayed in till like 3 or 4, just like letting me like recuperate because there wasn't much I needed to do anyways. And I'm by myself. And so I was like, you know where I'm going to go? I'm going to go to Coney Island because it's far when you're traveling and it's not the easiest to get to, but I'm by myself and I have all this time, so let's do it. So I take the subway there, which was an hour. I made sure I looked up all the times to make sure I didn't get let down.
Yeah.
And it said it closed at like 8. All the rides closed at like 8. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to see it at night with all the lights. It's going to be sick. So I get off. It's like a 10-minute walk from the subway, and it's pitch black. And I'm like, what the hell?
No.
I got there at 5. I'm like, there should still be 3 hours of fun time. And so I'm walking the boardwalk. I'm like, just trying to see if anything's open. It's like abandoned.
Dude, what?
And I'm looking up, why is Coney Island closed? Why is it not open? Like on my phone. I finally find coneyisland.com/calendar or something like that. They're not open every day. They are open select days, and those hours apply on those select days.
I'm guessing it's like a Wednesday through like Sunday.
All of November, it hasn't been open. In fact, what's today? Today is the 14th. It still will not open for 4 more days.
Dude.
And then they start this like festival, like winter festival thing where it's open like every Thursday through Sunday for the rest of the year. And I'm like, really? What the hell?
That must have been creepy though. Pitch black.
It was creepy.
Did you take a pic?
I got a lot of pics.
Ooh.
And I walked the Coney Island Pier. People were fishing on that. But yeah, I was bummed. I really wanted to go on the Cyclone. With Ariana Grande, let me take you around the Cyclone. I really wanted to do that, but yeah, that sucked. And so then I went back, and I debated on going to a Knicks game because I was like, why not? I got nothing to do. It starts in an hour. Tickets could be really cheap because I've waited this long. And it was going to take me an hour to get back. So I was like, it's going to start right at game time. I'm going to get there. So nice. I look up tickets. It's Knicks versus Spurs in Madison Square Garden, the mecca of basketball, and the Spurs have the number 1 pick from the past year, Victor Wembanyama. What do you think the cheapest ticket was?
I'm going to guess $360.
It was $367 for the cheapest one-person ticket.
We're talking like you're sitting next to Kobe, right?
No, I'm sitting at the ceiling. And I'm like, yeah, nah.
I'm chilling.
So then I'm like, okay, what about the Nets? Usually teams don't play on the same day.
Yeah.
For some reason, the Nets were this day. So I'm like, okay, and they're playing the Clippers. And I was like, it was $119 for the cheapest ticket. And I was like, if the Nets were still stacked, I would have considered it. But I can see the Clippers back home also for way cheaper. And the Nets have nobody. So I was like, nah, I'm all right. Then I was like, you know what? Let's just get another cannoli. And that's probably the night I had the best cannoli I've ever had.
Really?
It was so good.
What was the spot called?
Fritano Brothers?
Fritano?
Yeah, something like that.
Dope.
Had Prince Street Pizza that night. That was pretty good. Was bummed to find out that it's also in Los Angeles. Because I looked up, best pizza in NYC on TikTok, and this one looked really good. And then I tell Art, I'm like, yo, best pepperoni I've ever had. And he's like, what's the place? And I'm like, oh, it's called Prince Street. And he's like, oh, I've had it out here. And I'm like, well, now it doesn't feel as cool.
Well, to be fair, you are talking to Art, the pizza connoisseur.
I know, but now it doesn't feel as cool. And so I was like, damn, it's out there. I would have gone to a different spot if I knew that. But it was good. And then I think I went back.
Somebody did that to me with Portillo's in Chicago. You know how we all had Portillo's for lunch?
Yeah.
Somebody was like, oh, don't you guys have one like that? And I'm like, don't talk about that. I don't want to find out that we have one over there.
Yeah. And then the next day was the day Tony Todd arrived. I don't think I did much besides switch hotels because we were going to the first day I basically sat in a room where all those mystery baseballs that you can buy, seeing the players sign those. So I'm like, oh, this is how they do it. But it was like so they could make a sizzle reel for the Golden Glove Awards.
Yeah.
And Tony Todd and I meet up at this hotel that Rawlings was covering. Very gracious for that. Thank you so much. And then we go to the Plaza where Home Alone 2 has the famous scene with Donald Trump. And go to this floor, and they have like a backdrop, and all the players start rolling in. I think the first one there was Jonah Heim. And, yeah, we got to meet all of them. It was really cool. And so I already knew who the winners were for the Gold Gloves, right? Yeah. Everyone did because they announced it on socials and internet and everything. I did not know every year that Rawlings has legends for each position to announce each position. So they were also there. So Joe Mauer was the catcher representative.
Oh.
He was awesome. He was really nice. Keith Hernandez was the first baseman representative. Second baseman was Pedroia. Shortstop was Ozzie Smith.
Ooh.
Third base was A-Rod, who I've heard only bad interactions with from people that have met him. I didn't get to meet him.
Really?
Never got close to him at all. Barely even saw him. He was that, quick with trying to get to places. And
he acts like he's doing something. What's he doing?
I don't know.
What's A-Rod? A-Rod, why are you so busy, man?
The outfield representatives was Andre Dawson, Dave Winfield, and Andrew Jones.
Bro, that whole, the lineup just sounds like a MLB The Show Dynasty team.
Yeah, it does.
That just sounds like a DD team.
It does. And so in that room, we met Joe Mauer that day. He, like I said, super nice guy. Very, he's very good at, actually listening to what you're saying and very, oh, wow, really? Dude, that's awesome. Stuff like that. And met Jonah Heim, saw him. So if you don't have to be a Rawlings guy to win the Gold Glove, but if you are a Rawlings guy, they give you your gold-plated glove for 2024 that day. So I saw Jonah Heim get his. Gabriel Moreno came in and got his. He had like the whole family, bro. He was loving it.
That's
He brought his pops. He brought his wife, his like 1-year-old. We were talking to his dad, Freddie, for a while. He spoke better English than Gabriel did. And I don't know if I'm saying that right, by the way. I don't know if it's Gabriel or Gabriel.
Both ways, but Gabriel.
Yeah. And he spoke a little bit. He spoke a tiny bit. But his dad was basically our communicator.
Is he Dominican or is he
Venezuelan?
Venezuelan. Okay.
And he was really nice. It's so weird to see these guys out of uniform because then they actually, like, you hear all these like, 21-year-old stud playing for this team. When you see them out of uniform, they actually look that young. Like, he literally looked like he had like a whole Adidas fit on, like, tracksuit. Yeah. And I was just like, dude, you just look like a kid. Like, you don't even look like a major league catcher. You just look like a kid. And it was just wild. Volpe came in. The nicest guy, probably the best guy we met out of everybody. You could tell he was loving it. He was taking it all in. Always smiling, always like, oh my God.
Straight cheesing the whole night.
Oh, yeah. And so he was really nice. And then anybody else show up that night? I'm trying to think. Not that I can remember off the top of my head. You know what? I'm going to use this book. It's like
you have the booklet right behind you.
Yeah, it's a little cheat code. Everyone got this book.
Everybody got... Dude, let me see that.
It says Gold Glove Awards.
Ooh.
It has the winners like right on the front page. Okay, so let's see. Jose Barrios did not show when I was there. Nathaniel Lowe did not show when I was there. This is just for the room the first day. For the whole event, the only people that didn't show up was Adolis Garcia and Fernando Tatis.
Literally the stars of our generation.
Yeah. Matt Chapman did not show when I was there. Volpe did. Dubon did not. Kwan, no. Kiermaier, yes. Wheeler did not show either. Moreno did show. Walker came later. Horner was there. Happ was there. Hayes and Swanson came later, and Kim. And Doyle was also there. So we met all them on that first day. Very nice. And then I think Tony T and I just went back to the hotel and we chilled, I believe. And then the next day we had a luncheon. And apparently that's the harder thing to get into. So the award show was like, I think it went up to like table 55 or something like that. And there's like 8 seats at every table. So that was packed. The luncheon was just like the players and like anybody close enough to be able to get in. So Mike Thompson, the guy who handles Rawlings and everything, is very close with Tony Todd and was very nice to me and became a good buddy of mine during this trip. So we were invited to the luncheon, which is more personal. And it's like it was some Italian restaurant, like a street over from the plaza. And we got to walk with them and go down there. And the table that I sat at was me, Tony Todd, Key Brian Hayes, Nico Horner,
dope,
Anthony Volpe, Ian Happ, Stephen Kwan, and then an Italian man and his daughter, who I cannot remember the name of right now, but they were also just like close with everybody.
Yeah.
And Tony, started off nice with Key Brian Hayes and got to know him a lot, and we were really cool with Volpe chatting that whole time. And then Stephen Kwan, the Italian guy next to me, was telling me what stadiums he hadn't been to. I was like, oh, Stephen, I haven't been to Cleveland yet. And he's like, oh, yeah, really? He's like, it's a really nice stadium. I'm like, yeah, I'm going there to see the Bananas next year probably. Golden Retriever, TikTok dog was there. Very nice owners.
Did you pet him or her?
Yeah, I got a picture with her. Very nice dog. Her name was Ellie.
Woo!
And, so we did that as well. Luncheon, like I said, very personal, was also very cool. Then after the luncheon, we're like, hey, let's go to where the show's going to be, see what they're doing up there right now.
Yeah.
We went up there, and Tony Richards, I believe, was the producer, and he was like practicing all like the videos and like making sure everything was timed right. And then I see all the gloves or the awards on stage, and I notice it's a 2-piece trophy. So it has the base and it has the glove that goes on it. And so I'm like, I noticed they're not finished. I noticed the gloves are not on the base. if they need somebody to do that, I would love to. And then Tony tells that to one of the workers, and they just gave us the boxes. So the actual Gold Glove Awards that they take home were put together by myself and Tony Todd.
Dude, that's sick.
So I put on Tatis's, Adolis, Matt Chapman's,
Wheeler,
a ton of people.
Dude, that's so sick.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Congratulations.
So every time you see it in their home or if they post a picture of it in 2023,
you touched it.
That was me. My fingerprint is on there. And so that was really cool. And then we went back. We got ready for the event. The Gold Glove Awards. And Tony Todd tells me, he's like, Tony's been to like 5 or 6 of these, and he's like, we'll stay for the dinner, the comedian, and then we had basically watched the show during that practice thing. And he's like, we've seen the show, so I don't know, I think we should go in the green room, because when they finish, they're going to go right there and we can interview them. So that's what we did. The comedian was Dana Carvey.
Oh,
do you know who that is?
Yeah.
Wayne's World.
Yeah.
The guy with the blonde hair.
Definitely know
yeah,
that.
yeah.
I recognize the name, but I was like, I just needed to put the face. But dude, that's sick.
He was pretty funny. He started off really good, was like an middle, and then finished really good. And I think my favorite or most memorable part of his act, every year they say the comedians kind of roast some of the players as part of their act. So he asked all the players sit in the front tables. So he's pointing at Jonah Heim. He's like, what's your name? And he keeps telling him Jonah, but he keeps hearing Jonas. So he's like, Jonas Heim of the Texas Rangers. And he like sings a song about him and his wife. And then and then what's his name? Oh my God. Joe Piscopo. Do you know who that is?
No.
He did SNL.
Joe Piscopo, probably.
And he's the MC every time. And so he comes out after Dana finishes, and he's like, well, let's give it up for Jonas Heim. Like just making fun of the fact that he got it wrong.
Yeah.
And then after that, I believe we got the dessert, and then which was bomb. It's like this ice cream s'mores thing. It was so good.
Oh.
And then we were like, all right, let's go to the green room. And then we went there. Ran into a few issues early on, but got that taken care of, and then we fired off interviews. We got to talk to, let me see, pull out the handy dandy cheat
my bro
book.
has his yearbook ready to go.
I believe we did not talk to Jose. We did talk to Jonah Heim, Nathaniel Lowe, Andres Jimenez. Andres right after he won the Platinum Glove. Like, we were the first people he talked to.
Wow, so he's coming off of it.
Yeah. Matt Chapman, Volpe, Dubon, Quan, no Kiermaier. Like I said, Adolis did not show. Wheeler did not show. Moreno, not that night. Walker, never actually saw him. Horner never went back there. Ke'Bryan, Swanson, never saw Kim. Talked to Ian Happ, did not talk to Doyle, and Tatis did not show. And I think my favorite questions that I had were for Nathaniel Lowe, who loved it. He had such good energy. And Ian Happ were my most like detailed questions, I would say.
Yeah.
And like I said, all that is going to be in the Gold Glove vlog. Everything we're talking about, I have a whole vlog of everything. The whole trip, New York and everything. I'm going to keep saying it because you can see everything we're talking about.
I got to ask real quick, at this whole Golden Gloves event, both days,
yeah.
Did you get recognized by anybody?
Yeah, a few times.
Yeah.
But, I mean, the players are just like, oh, okay. Like, if they saw it happen.
Yeah.
I talked to Jim Catt, who was the pitcher representative. All those representatives I mentioned earlier. He was really nice. Joe Mauer, really nice. Keith Hernandez was around him a few times. Never really talked to him. Shook his hand like twice. Mm-hmm. I forgot about the utility Gold Glove, new award. Eduardo Perez, really nice. Talked to him. Pedroia, talked to him. Like I said, A-Rod never saw him. Ozzie Smith is really cool with Tony Todd, and we were talking up a storm with him every single time we saw him. One of my favorite people out of the Legends. Dave Winfield, talked and interacted with him multiple times. Andrew Jones, never saw him. Andre Dawson, saw him once. Steve Garvey, saw him once. And Carl Ravitch also saw him once. So, yeah, awesome event. thank you, Mike Thompson, so much for allowing me to go out there and enjoy the event, do my thing. Already gave us the invite back for next year. So I'm going to be paying way more attention to defensive statistics throughout the whole season to be like, all right, who am I looking at?
Who's going to be a defense god?
Who's going to win these awards?
I can't wait to see that Golden Glove predictions picks by Austin Kleschke.
And then, yeah, so we got that. And it was cool because, usually you see guys like Machado, Arenado, like these big already made superstars there. This year was like a new wave.
It really was because I think it was the first year we didn't have Arenado.
Yeah.
Straight up. The first year we don't have
Mike
him.
Thompson, the guy that invited us,
yeah,
believes he jinxed it. Because last year when Nolan Arenado won it, he said, Nolan, you did it again, man. One more and you break the record for most consecutive gold gloves.
Oh, my God. He was at that record?
Yep.
Who's the holder?
I don't know consecutively. Ozzy has 13. Yeah. But if Nolan would have won his 11th in a row, it would have been the record for most in a row.
Dude.
And Mike Thompson was like, yeah, I jinxed.
He's like accepting at the dinner. Oh, yeah. My fault.
Got beat out by Brian Hayes this year.
I wonder how close it was.
I don't know. He wasn't even a finalist, I believe. Yeah.
Tough.
Yeah.
Damn,
and
tough.
then, yeah, obviously loved that. Came back home and immediately got to work. Still working on the vlogs. I got 2 done. One went up today as I speak, and the other one goes up tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day. And then I went to the BBG event, Baseball Generations. Went there last year for the first time. Very fun, very important event to showcase youth talent in baseball. And so you have the Rising Stars game, which is kids that are like sophomores. And then you got the All-Star game, which is the kids that are like seniors about to graduate.
Those are the ones that do play, like, most likely college ball, or they get drafted, right? Sometimes.
Almost every kid, the young kids and they're all ballers. They're all better than everyone.
Damn.
And they almost all of them are committed already, like even the young kids.
Dude.
And so that was really cool. Tony and I went back out there. Uniform upgrade this year. Last year they had black and white, and this year they had baby blue and red. I got the red hat on. I also got a baby blue one that's right there.
Oh, the blue's tough. I can't lie.
Yeah, dude, their uniforms were so clean this year. And it was a lot of fun once again. And there's always the same captains to, mentor these kids. We have Team Dom, Dominic Smith, Team Jazz, Jazz Chisholm, Team JP, JP Crawford, and Team Flash, Flash Gordon. And then, they always bring friends from time, like surprises. And only one guy that was there the day before for like the camp and everything, Drew Jones, did not show for the next day.
Oh.
So we were kind of like, damn. But, we're grateful to meet anybody. And I got to meet Pete Crow Armstrong, who's a very good friend of Tony's because his mom plays the mom in Little Big League, which Tony was in. So he said he's known Pete Crow Armstrong since day 2 of his life. So met him.
Well, that's a close family friend.
Yeah. Met all the captains as always, and they remembered me from last year. So that was really nice. And, who else was there? I'm blanking right now. So hard. Ty France of the Mariners was there. Won't say exactly where he lives, but I went up to him and I asked him, did you fly here today? Because he got there a little bit later than everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, no, I actually drove. I live around. And then I'm like, oh, where about? And then he tells me, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, no way. Dude, I grew up there.
And you're like, I'm in blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, and I'm like, I live in blah, blah, blah. And he's like, that's where I used to live. And I'm like, dude, right across from blah, 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 high school. And I'm like, dude, I know all these areas you're saying like the back of my hand. And
the amount of times we've both passed that area
all the time
is wild.
And so I'm like, I never thought a major leaguer would live around that area. And I'm like, that's wild. And then, so he was really cool. CJ Abrams was there. I'm sure Dom talked to him because Dom's part of the Nationals. He was his teammate for the first year. And I'm sure he's like, you got to come out to our event, man. And then, he got him there. And I'm trying to remember really hard right now if I met anybody else. But off the top of my head, those are the guys we met. The Bat Bros were there, the guys that are always interviewing players on the field and TikToks.
Yeah.
They were really cool. They actually mic'd up a kid in the Rising Stars game, and he hit a home run with their mic.
Oh,
and
sick.
I was like, dude, there's no way. And so that Rising Stars game was pretty good. That kid mic'd up. He's a sophomore, and he hit it over this. It was at a professional minor league field, over a Green Monster-esque wall.
What?
Yeah,
dude, that's massive. That's more than massive. That's galactic
at
that point.
I called it the sponsor monster because it was like a monster-sized wall and it had sponsors all over it. Yeah, so I was just like, it's the sponsor monster. And he cleared that.
Damn, what power.
Yeah, literally. We met, or there's this photographer girl that was there last year as well, Paige or Dinger's Photography. Yeah. She's really nice, and we remembered each other. Met this girl, Julia, who works for Rock Nation, which is Jay-Z's agency. And they represent like almost all of BBG. Like all the guys that were there, they represent them all basically.
Rockefeller Nation.
And no, Rock Nation.
I know it's Rock Nation. I'm just saying Rockefeller.
Okay. Oh, that was another thing I did. I went to Top of the Rock. I forgot about that, but it was cool. That was the one I recommend you do at night if you're in New York.
Do that, my guys, my people. Holy balls, that's New York. That's New York when you want to New York.
Yeah. And I got a lot to edit in those vlogs, so I might not put as many pictures in this podcast or in video because you can go see it all in those vlogs, and it would take me a lot longer to edit this. So
go check it out, guys. Make sure to check it out.
But yeah, then BBG's All-Star game, the older kids, it was close through like the first 5 innings, and then Team JP. Oh my God, they ran away with it. They won,
just blew it up.
They won like 13-4 after like 5 innings of being close. Yeah, they started destroying them.
The bleeding.
But yeah, it was always a fun event. The lights went out before the game ended. We got them back on, but the lights just went out, and we were like, "Oh shit!" Got them back on. Finished the game. It was really fun. And I also brought Smackin' Seeds. Have you seen their TikToks?
Yeah.
I bought those. The bag's actually right there. They're not in there, but the bag's right there. And so I brought them to the game, and I was like, oh, let's try some of these. They have the churro flavor, which you can taste it, but it needs to last longer. It goes away very fast. The churro was pretty good. Barbecue was solid. We tried the garlic parmesan, which was also pretty good. And I still have 3 left. I have cracked pepper, dill pickle, and original.
You left the best ones for last.
No.
Cracked pepper is crack.
Well, yeah, I love cracked pepper. Cracked pepper is my favorite.
One.
But they're a new company, so we'll see. It may not hit like the others.
I want to say dill. Dill might be a bit better. Right. But I found out a lot of people don't like dill.
Yeah, I know. Wow. It's underrated.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
Without a doubt.
Huge, long, fun week of New York. Camp Flog Gnaw. A lot of fun. And I can't wait to go back next year to both of these events, Gold Glove Awards and BBG. And I'm trying to think if there's anything I need to add on for you guys. Oh, I don't want to end on a sad note, but our other childhood dog, Jessie, passed away when I was in New York. So I just want to give her all the love to end this one. And I'm going to miss her. Did not get to see her in her last days, but now her and Blue get to be together again. So
they're roaming around, man.
Didn't think I'd lose them both in 2023, but life is life, and they both lived good ones.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, and I'm trying to think if there's any other news, anything that we might have done that we need to add, but I think that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen, unless you have something.
I don't, but I will say, hint, hint, hopefully you guys will see something cool in the near episodes. So we'll see.
It may or may not.
Literally may or may not.
You know what? Here's the hint I'll give you. Like, I started this episode saying Mobo actually has another event in his life that's not his car. So I'll give you the hint that I think you can figure it out. But it's the final, big news that you've been waiting for. So,
oh, yeah.
Hopefully. So thank you so much, everybody who let me be involved with Gold Gloves, Mike Thompson, everybody there, the players. Thank you, Tim Revere, Ron and Dominic Smith from BBG for inviting me back and letting me be a part of the whole thing. And yeah, that'll be it. So we post our audio on Spotify at 2 p.m. on Thursdays.
Ladies and gentlemen, the YouTube video goes up 2 p.m. on Fridays. So make sure you guys are subscribed, of course. Come on.
Thank you for opening your ears to our voices.
Yes.
And be ready for episode 44 next week.
Bro, about to take like a whole month and a half off.
No, I'm gonna hit that on the final episode of December, and I'm gonna say I'll see you next year. I don't care.
Goodbye.